I'm Michael Breed, talking about the About Golf Simulator. And one of my favorite things to do when I'm in the sim is to hit balls with wind. I think there are so many little sort of variables that you have to play golf in. And wind is one of them. And I've spoken to you in a prior video about establishing a baseline. And if you don't have a baseline, it becomes incredibly difficult for you to play in the wind. And most times when you practice, you don't want to practice in the wind. You want to go out there because you haven't had a chance to work on your game anyway. Well, now you can practice in the wind whenever you want to practice in the wind, and you can start to get an idea of, hey, this is the effect of wind. So what is a 10-mile-an-hour wind, and how does it really truly affect the golf ball? And then how do you get a ball to go a certain distance into the wind? Now, I'm with you that I can't feel what 10 miles an hour is going to feel like on my face yet. That's a separate issue. What you need to know is, what does 10 miles an hour of wind do to your golf ball, the expected distance of the shot, provided that you hit it well? I've also shared with you that my 6-iron is about a 175 club. And on many times in prior videos, I've shared with you that my club head speed in a predictable fashion is somewhere around 83 to 85 miles an hour. Ball speed is somewhere between 115 and 118. And that's going to get me right around 175. It's an ish. So what I'm going to do is, with no wind, I'm going to hit this 6-iron. And let's just see what we get out of this shot, okay? So I told you my expectation. That one I hit really good. That one's going to be a very strong hit. And so that one, come on up to the front here, and we'll see what we got there. So I said I'm about 83 to 85. I want to make sure I didn't come under, so I got that thing at 86 and a half. A little bit north of that, so the ball speed goes up to 120. So this one actually got a little north of 175. It got up to 180 in the air. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the wind on. Actually, Greg's going to turn the wind on. God's going to turn the wind on. So God, will you turn the wind on for me and give me about a 10-mile-an-hour wind right into the face? Now, I just hit that 6-iron and it went 180 on a faster club head speed, a faster ball speed than I normally will get. Okay? So the question is, what does 10 miles an hour of wind do to the overall distance of the golf ball? And I think you're going to be surprised, because when I was playing golf all the time, and I had some real predictability and consistency in what I was doing with my swing, all of a sudden for every mile an hour of wind in your face, that's a yard. And then I found out that's not exactly true. And then I took it onto the golf course, and I spent some time trying to figure out, like, okay, well, what's the weather for today? Oh, it says it's going to be about 15 miles an hour. I'm going to go out there with a guy who got a shot that's coming right into my face out of the north. Okay, it says it's going to be 15 miles an hour. I'm going to do what I do to figure out, okay, 15 miles an hour. And then I'm going to take what I did in the studio and see if it actually works. And it did. Like, spot on. It was wild. So I've got 10 miles an hour in the face here. Let's see if I can get this club head speed, this ball speed, up to that same number. And again, remember, what did I get? 86.6, 120, and 180 in the air. Okay? Here we go. Wind in the face. Okay, that's a pretty good strike. That's close enough for government work. Now look at these numbers here. 85 out of the club head speed, so I'm down about a mile an hour. The ball speed's at 118, so lost about 2 miles an hour of ball speed. But those are pretty comparable. And that ball went 159 in the air. Similar launch, 159 in the air. Let's do it again. Let's see if we can get a similar number in the club and ball speeds, and then let's see what we get out of the overall distance. Because what I have found now since doing this with the About Golf Simulator is it's not that. It's about 2 yards for every mile an hour. That's what I have figured out through my years of doing this. That was very solid. This is 119 miles an hour of ball speed. And ultimately, that's all this thing cares about. The world cares about ball speed. That's it. That's 119. And there's my distance, 158. I'm down from 180. Let's try one more. I'm a baseball player, so I like to do this in threes. Let's see if I can get this thing to that same number again, like 119, 118, 120. This is a little on the toe, but this is going to flight out and curve a little differently. It'll launch a little differently. It won't have the spin because it's on the toe. So that one there, I got 120, but I got a toe hit. So all of a sudden my spin rate drops down, which means it's going to kind of bore through this thing a little bit more. And all of a sudden I'm 164.8. So call it 165. So at that point, because I hit it on the toe and I drew it, that's the left spin, I lost a lot of backspin. I turned it over a bit. It bores through that wind a little bit more and it goes a little bit farther. So that's the human side of this. That's what happens in the game. You're playing, not a robot. And so I got basically 7 yards more. But what's also true is with a similar club head speed and a very similar ball speed, not the same spin rate, but very similar in the other areas, because of the toe hit, I got a shot that went 165, but it didn't go 180 and it didn't go 170, which is what everybody has always told me. Hey, if you want to get this shot into a 10-mile-an-hour wind to the distance that you want, just hit one more club. That's what everybody was said. Well, that's not true. Now, how do I hit this one more club? That's for a different day. But let's hit one more. Let's see what we get. So again, I'm going to go up and do the same thing, only this time I'm not going to let that face close, and I'm not going to hit this on the toe. So this is going to be pretty close. There you go. So pretty close. Come on up to the front. Club didn't turn over, so my spin rate went to the right. I kind of held on to it a little bit more, so I got a little bit more backspin than I wanted to the right. But what's cool, 118, 85, those are numbers that would normally produce for me like 175 to 180, and that ball went 158. So what do you learn? Well, I'll tell you what I learned. What I learned is it's not 1 yard for every mile an hour that's in your face. It's more like 2 yards for every mile an hour that's in your face. You cannot ever at any point really understand what wind is going to do to you unless you're doing this in an AboutGOLF simulator indoors. You're outside and you're hitting a ball that's not the ball you play with, and the wind is not doing what you think it does consistently, and your shot is on a downhill range, you can't possibly have a prediction. And you can't have a prediction if you don't have a baseline, but you can't have a prediction if you don't understand. So what you need to do is you need to get that baseline, know exactly how far you hit this, know exactly what the number should look like, and then be able to go in and hit a shot with the wind right in your face and go, okay, this is 10 miles an hour. And this is what ends up happening with my shot. I don't get 10 yards less. I actually get 20. And so now the next time you go out to play and you're sitting at that 155 spot, and that's normally your 7-iron, and the wind is 10 miles an hour in your face, don't get your 6-iron, get your 5-iron. And then hit it. And then when your friends are patting you on the back for a shot that's 8 feet from the hole, you're going to go, thanks, AboutGOLF, and you should.